We were talking about accelerationists.
Accelerationists. Oh, and the Darwinism, and like, do you want to be that Darwinistic? And I was going to say that like it's really interesting because social Darwinism and just Darwinism in general, like just between societies, there's such a disparity between the Western world's Darwinism and hell, even just the developed world in general, Darwinism versus underdeveloped countries or countries that are just at war right now, and that's all they can think about. Because, like, here in the United States, social Darwinism is who can climb the corporate ladder fast enough, who can get the highest paying entry level job before the fight for 15 may or may not, erase them all. And in somewhere like, I don't know, Syria or a small African village being controlled by warlords, social Darwinism is who can find the clean stream and direct everyone else to it and be viewed as a leader.
Yeah. Yeah. Or who's going to die.
Yeah.
Who's actually going to die.
Exactly. Who is literally going to lose their life today.
Do you think that the accelerationist movement and people who are really like Americans, especially, but maybe even in Western Europe, people who romanticize free market capitalism and romanticize social Darwinism or Darwinism in general, are just craving that because of how cushiony our world has become, how if I just lay in bed for a week, I'm probably not going to die.
It's more than likely. And part of it, I think, also is sort of fueled by this fantasy that if that comes to pass, they will, without a doubt, rise to the top. I mean, a lot of people, it's trying to think about it. It's represented well in a lot of, like little mobile games nowadays where you play as Kim Kardashian, or you play, Lemonade Stand Tycoon or whatever. And
right. Economic games or clout-based games, essentially.
Exactly. So you have this perfect, sanitary, orchestrated simulation of what would happen if social Darwinism was taken to the extreme in a vacuum. And in this case, you're the main character of the game, so obviously you win. And people want that winning in real life. So people want to think that, oh, if it's every man fends for himself, I'll win. People want to think that, oh, if society devolves into anarchy, I have some sort of edge that'll put me on top.
Do you think that's one of the things that fascinates us about the apocalypse right now culturally? Because there's the huge phenomenon of like zombie movies, apocalypse scenarios, preppers and everything. You think a lot of that is just wanting to have that edge and feel like you're superior in some hypothetical sense?
Yeah, because society right now, there's so much equality, and that's a good thing. There's such a distinct, almost dropped some stuff. There's such a distinct lack of strife and struggle, like for survival in a very basic sense in today's society. So people like preppers, for example, will cope ahead for having this struggle in the anticipation, and for some of them even the hope that it will come to pass, because it harkens back to that more sort of primal root of like, me grug, me have more meat, me live through winter.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to doomsday preppers, this might be a little radical of me to say, but I think that group in particular is often filling a kind of religious void, or at least adhering to mythological roots that they don't know are there, in the sense that our world, and also chaos theory, also adhering to aspects of chaos theory in the sense that our world has become too orderly. Eventually it will decay. It's probably going to collapse all at once because of the commonality of exponential patterns in social situations like this. The Roman Empire doesn't like slowly crumble, at least not in a way that they could observe. The same can be said for Egypt, and the same will probably be said for us. If we fall, it's going to happen quickly. So they romanticize that, and that comes right back to the idea of revelation, of society being completely destroyed, of people being essentially raised from the dead because they'll be assuming new identities in this apocalyptic scenario. They won't be themselves anymore. They'll put on their gear, they'll grab their bags, they'll go out, and they'll be entirely new people with entirely new lives. It's a kind of resurrection, and they'll be living in a new world, and it won't be a heavenly paradise like one would think with something like Zion, right? Instead, it's the opposite. It's the in between. It's accepting. It's not the acceptance of hell. It's the acceptance of an alternative. It's saying that we will live in the in between. We will live where it's rough. We will live where it's rugged and where people die and where people have to fight for their food, because we're just so numb in this society. I think that that's subconsciously what a lot of them are saying, and many of them are saying it consciously.